Hey guys, so it's now Monday and I'm attempting to go for another run. After what happened 2 days ago, I'm not really sure how far I'm going to get today. Obviously I'm going to run as far as I can, but I'm not going to really set much of a target. I'm hoping to do 8k, but it depends on how my legs feel, because they're not as bad as they were, but still a slight little twinge in them. And I'm hoping it doesn't mean what I think it means, which is I need to get new running shoes, because that is just a pain in the butt, because it means I have to go in and get properly measured for them, which I know is a necessity, but it's just not fun, especially when you don't have that much time to go to a specialist shop. But yeah, so I'm going to attempt 8k obviously, but I'm going to see how I feel around 3k. If my legs are fine, then obviously I'll push through and do 8. But if I'm getting to 3 and my legs start hurting again, then I'm just going to call it quits again. Or what I might do is I might push through to 5, but just walk the last 2 kilometers, or do it at the very light jog at the most, just to see how I get on. The other reason for that is I just don't want to get injured. I want to carry on running, but I know if I push too hard I will end up with an injury, which obviously isn't ideal. But yeah, I'm also going to try out a new running app today. It's one I've had on my phone, like on and off my phone for a while anyway, but I'm just going to see how I get on with it. The last 3 months and last summer I was running with the Nike Run app, which I do like, I do enjoy it, but I'm going to give Strava a go today, just to see if I get on with it a bit better. I'm not optimistic for it. I know it's a very popular running app, but I do kind of like my Nike one, but I'm just going to give it a go and see how I do get on. But yeah, like I said, I'm gradually trying to change up different things for my run, because I don't know if I've said this in any other videos, but I'm considering, or by the end of the month I'm definitely going to decide whether to sign up for a 10k race at the end of the summer. But I just wanted to see how I was feeling at the end of this month. Like, I know it's only a 10k, and I've been doing a couple of 8ks, so I know 10k is definitely possible, but I just wanted to see how I felt at the end of this month. But yeah, so that's another reason it's very important that I don't get injured, and I try to figure out ways to prevent injury and obviously to better my running. So yeah, I'm going to finish my warm-up walk, and I'm going to obviously do my stretches and that before I go. I'm also going to redo my one shoe, because it's kind of bugging me a bit, and I think that might have added to my injury on my leg. So yeah, I'm going to go do all that, and I'll let you know how my run went a little later on. Hey guys, so I've been back from a run for a couple of hours now. I ended up, after I'd taken a shower and done all my cool down, I ended up going to see my cousins, because I haven't seen them in quite a while and I haven't long got back. So I thought I'd do my update now before I forget. So yeah, like I said at the start of this video, I was going to try out my Strava app for this run. I'm still undecided on how I got on with it. Tracking wise, it wasn't too bad. It was the same as Nike. I don't think there's much difference between running apps, because I have used a different running app altogether before, so they're all pretty similar. The only issue I had slightly with Strava was that it was basically, I just found the voice a bit annoying when he was giving the cues. I prefer the one in the Nike app, but other than that, it's okay, I guess. It's not, but I think I will stick to the Nike app. Like I said in the last one, the consistency of these videos is probably better just to stick with Nike. And now, because I've finally managed to link my Strava to my Fitbit, I will still obviously record on Strava, but I just won't give the details in these videos. As for how the run went, I did actually manage to do 8k today. My legs weren't too bad. They did get tight at certain points, especially like around 4k they started to get a little tight, but nothing too major. I think it was more like hitting a wall kind of tight, opposed to actually cramping up in my legs. and weirdly enough, when I slowed down to walk, they actually hurt more. So when I picked up running again, they still hurt a little, not hurt, but a little uncomfortable, but it would seem to be ease off when I was running, so I found that quite interesting. But obviously I couldn't run the entire time because my breathing meant that I would have to slow down again. And I think that's how my running style is always going to be. I think the technical term is jeffing, where you alternate between running and walking, and I think I'll always do that. Obviously my aim is to run longer periods between walks, but I think that I'll never be able to run the full distance. I'll always have to walk a little bit. As for my stats today, I can't remember which side they come up. I think they come up this side. Yeah, they're going to look a little different just because they're on Strava opposed to Nike, but the information is pretty much going to be the same. So yeah, as for my stats, I did 8.04 kilometers, which I think means I did 5 miles. Kind of 5 miles is around that mark. I did it in 1 hour, 6 minutes and 8 seconds, so I think that was faster than my first 8k, so that might be my fastest 8k. And my pace was 8 minutes and 13, so I'm still around the same pace. Like I said, I don't think that's ever going to improve. I hope it does, but for now, as long as I stay between 8 to 8.5 average pace, I'm going to be happy. So I'm looking down because my phone's on the table beside me. As for my splits, my first kilometre I did in 6 minutes 58, so faster than last time, but it's still around where it normally is. My second kilometre I did in 8:15, which I think it's not my fastest, I know that, but I think is my fastest within the 8k kind of range. My third kilometre I did in 8 minutes and 18, so slightly slower but roughly the same pace. My fourth I did in 8 minutes 30, so a bit of a slowdown on that one, and I'm just kind of trying to think where I was on my route at that time. I don't think there was any reason really other than maybe I just walked a little more. My fifth kilometre I sped up slightly and did in 8 minutes 23, so not too bad. Sixth kilometre was 8:35, which slower again, but I don't think that's too bad for, I think that might actually be my fastest on 6k. I kind of got the board turned round at the moment because it just fell the other day, so I'll have to get the board and just double check. My 7th kilometre then was 8:35, which I'm pretty sure is my fastest on 7 kilometres, so I'm quite happy with that. And my 8, I did in 8 minutes and 15, which I know is my fastest because that's what I did on my first one. So yeah, I'm also quite glad to see, apart from like that first kilometre, my others seem to stay within like 20 seconds, so my pace seems to be evening out a bit more, so I'm glad there's not too much jumping around. So it might be that I've actually finally started to figure out my pacing a bit better, which is nice. Obviously I would like it to get it faster, but at least it's a bit more under control. There's not as much variation as it's been previously, so definitely seen an improvement in my running. I'm gonna leave this clip here now, and I will see you hopefully on Thursday for my next run. Hey guys, so it's currently Monday. I haven't actually run in a week. I had planned, as you know from the last clip, to run on Thursday, but when I woke up Thursday morning I actually had shooting pains in my neck. I think I just slept a bit weird and pulled something, so I knew running wasn't going to be a good idea and definitely wasn't going to be possible on Thursday. So I've taken a couple of days just to get that sorted out, which I have now, I hope, and now going out today. As you can see, it's actually quite a nice day today, so I'm quite glad of that. I don't know what it is, the weather just seems to be on my side when I run. It's very rare that I've had a bad weather day, but you know, I don't want to jinx it because it's probably going to happen now. But yeah, I'm currently out on my warm-up walk. I'm going to try and do my old 5k route, the one that was a big loop, but I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I don't know if I'm going to maybe try and do it twice to get up to 10k, or if I'll just then do my 3k route, because like I said, I'm aiming to do 8 every run now, but obviously that's just depending on how my body feels. So I'm going to do at least 5k. I'm determined finished that. I've also now sorted out my running apps properly, so both my Strava and my running app work now properly. My Strava does now link to my Fitbit, so I'm going to use my Nike for my pacing, but then still record my Fitbit so it goes to Strava. The reason I want the Strava one is just because one of my friends used Strava, so it's nice to just like share my runs with him. But yeah, I'm also trying to decide what to do, because as you can tell I currently have my jacket on, but I'm already starting to feel a bit warm, so I don't know whether to pop back into my house and change out of the jacket, or maybe the advantage to this jacket is I can actually take the sleeves off, so I might pop into the house and just take the sleeves off. That way I still have access to the pockets, because I have to carry a lot of things with me when I run. Like I say a lot, it's just my house keys, my phone obviously, and then my inhaler, because like I've said before, I do have asthma and it's very important that I take my inhaler with me. So yeah, I'm going to try and figure that out now. I'm still walking, I'm almost at the end of my street, so yeah. I've also, as you can see, not got my hat on today. The reason for that is I do find it quite warm with my hat on, so I've got glasses and my sunglasses I bought like years ago. I'm going to give them a go. I don't quite know how well they're going to work with my headphones, but I'm going to give it a go and see how I get on. And yeah, I'm going to finish up my little warm-up now and obviously decide what to do about my jacket and then go for my run. So I will catch up with you guys next to you, but probably in over an hour for me. So yeah, see you in a bit. So it's a bit later on now. I kind of got a bit sidetracked after my run, so I'm only now getting around to filming this clip. But yeah, it wasn't too bad a run. It wasn't my best. I don't think it was my slowest. I think it might be my second slowest on 8k, but I'm reasonably happy with it. And I think it was only slower because of the route. It's the first time I've run that route during an 8k, and it's the first time I've run that route in a while anyway. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. Like I said before, like I didn't mention it earlier on, I did my large 5k route, which has the suckish hill on it. But yeah, the reason I kind of like that route, like I said, is because I can run the first kilometre easy, and then I can run the 4th kilometre easy. After that I kind of get, well, the other ones in between kind of hit and miss. It just depends. I tend to alternate between walking and running, especially when it comes to the hills. But yeah, overall not too bad a run. Although, like I said, I was hoping to do 10k, but when I got to about 5-ish, 5.5, I realised that 10 probably wasn't a good idea, so I just did my normal 8. So yeah, so as for my stats, I did 8.06 kilometres, just because of how long it took me to stop the app. I did it in 1 hour, 7 minutes and 44 seconds. My average pace was 8:24, so like I said, it's not my fastest for 8k, but it's not too bad either. As long as I'm under an hour and 10, I'm happy. As for my splits, my first kilometre I did in 7 minutes and 11, so a little slower than it has been normally, but I'm not too worried. It's only a couple of seconds, and as long as it's around 7:10 and doesn't go too far above it, I'm pleased. My second kilometre I did in 8 minutes and 4 seconds, which is actually my fastest second split by about 4 seconds, so can't really complain about that. My third kilometre then was 9 minutes and 8, so quite a big drop, but like I said, that is because that kilometre involves that suckish hill. And although I did run up it a bit better than I have in the past, I'm still not quite got to the point where I can run up the entire hill yet. If I haven't mentioned about that hill, that it's pretty much, I think it's about 750 metres in total, that hill, of just hill. So it's always going to probably be my slowest kilometre. Saying that, we'll get to one of my late kilometres. So my 4th kilometre was in 7 minutes 37. Not my fastest for that split. I have done a 4th on that route faster, but like I said, it's nice to see that when it comes to like running continuously, I'm more around the 7.5 mark opposed to the 8.5. So if I'm able to run more consistently, I know that I can get down to the pace I'd be a bit more happier with. My 5th kilometre I did in 8.5 minutes. That was, I ran a good part of that. I think I ran a lot more of it than I have in the past, but still had to walk for a bit because I needed to catch my breath a little bit here and there, and there's also a huge puddle across the road at one point, so that I think I slowed down just before it, just to try and work out how to get around it. My 6th kilometre was actually my slowest, so I did in 9 minutes 53, so I think that was because I majority walked that kilometre. Yeah, I don't think I ran for a little bit, but I pretty much walked that kilometre, so it's quite nice to see that if I do walk, I can walk at around a 10-minute pace. So if I did have to ever walk a long distance within a run, and like in a race kind of situation, I know I can do it in my slowest pace. Can be 8 is around the 10-minute mark, maybe 10.5 for leeway. My 7th kilometre then I did in 8 minutes and 14, no sorry, yeah, 8 minutes 14, and that's actually my fastest 7 kilometre split. So once again, oh well, actually by quite a bit. I think my last one was about 8:30ish, so good 20 seconds taken off there. I don't quite know why. I think it's just because of where the splitting was on my route. And then my 8th kilometre I did in 8 minutes 35, so not my fastest. I think that's my slowest 8 kilometre actually, but once again that could just be where I was on my route when I was doing my 8th. So yeah, overall not too bad on that run. Like I said, not my best, but I'm glad to have got back on a different route again, and obviously next time I go out for a run I will try to go that route again and see if I can improve on these times. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this now because although I did take a shower when I got back from a run, I would like to have a nice hot bath to soak my legs because they're starting to get a little sore already. So I'm gonna go do that now, and I'll see you guys on my next run. Hey guys, so it's now Friday. I'm not actually meant to be going for a run till tomorrow, but I have an unexpected day off. Basically, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I just had a phone call off Amanda to tell me not to bother coming in today because I'm not needed. So, the same thing happened yesterday, and I didn't go for a run, and it drove me a little insane. By the time I got to about 4 in the afternoon, I was literally pacing the house. So I decided to actually get out and go for a run today. Hopefully they'll get a lot of my energy out ahead of time. But yeah, I'm heading out now on my warm-up walk, obviously, because I wouldn't be talking to you guys if I was running. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to do at least 5k today, hopefully a lot further than that, just to see how I feel. I'm going to say this now because I don't know if I'll remember it later on, but I don't know how many more of these videos I'm going to be able to do shortly, because given the current circumstance in the world with this pandemic, it's probably not going to be long before I have to heed advice and self-isolate, which means going out for a run won't be possible. So I'm going to try and get as many runs as I can before then, obviously, because like I said, I don't feel well being stuck in the house. I do have a treadmill, but I'm not a big fan of running on that. I'm not a big fan of running on treadmills in general. I just find them boring, but especially when I'm in the house. So obviously I will still run, but I'm probably not gonna count them in these diaries. I will probably still log them on my apps, but yeah. So yeah, it's a reasonably nice day today. It's a bit windy. Like I said, I'm gonna try and do as much as I can, go as far as I can. I am going to try and social distance as much as I can. The only time I run into people is usually the first 1.5 kilometres. After that, because it's country lanes, there's pretty much no one around, so I should be okay. But obviously I'm going to try and be careful when I am in the more populated areas. But yeah, I don't really know what to expect from today's run, because to be honest, I've kind of got my jacket on, but I'm already feeling myself warm up, so it's a very good chance that I'm going to take the sleeves off again. I'm also going to try out some energy stuff today because I want to try to go further, and I know running on my normal, like just on my breakfast, is probably, I'm going to get a little drained towards the end. I know I did the last run, so yeah, I'm going to try and do as best I can. And obviously if you don't see me for a while after this video, it's just because I'm in isolation and can't go out running. But yeah, I'm going to go get this run done. I'll let you know how I get on and my thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. So as you may or may not be able to tell, it's quite a while later now. I kind of got sidetracked with other things, other issues after my run, and I'm only now getting around to filming this clip, and I kind of forgot, if I'm honest. But yeah, my run didn't quite go as I planned. Nothing major. I said I was going to do at least one loop, which is 5.5 kilometers, and I was hoping to do 8. I ended up doing 6 just because, I don't know, my head just wasn't in that run today, and I did struggle a bit more with my breathing. I don't know if it was just because I didn't allow enough time for my inhalers to kick in before I went out for my run. Normally I tend to take my one inhaler when I wake up, and then I'll take the other one. I'll give it like 10 minutes or so before I go out running, just to give them a chance to kick in, and I just forgot to do that this morning. Like, I did take them, like I always take my inhalers before my run, but I think I just didn't give them enough time to fully kick in before I went out, so it just meant, at least at the start of my run, I was struggling to breathe a bit more. But yeah, as for how I felt on that run, like I said, apart from the breathing, my legs started to get a little tight, not like painfully tight, and I've dealt with it now, but I could just feel that they were going to be really tight if I carried on running. So I did just cut my run short to 6. You also had issue with my Fitbit. Like I said, I'm using my Nike running app, but I also use my Fitbit to record my runs as well, just as a backup. And my Fitbit, although it did register the distance and all that, it didn't pick up the GPS part. So you just kind of, I'm not going to show you, but like on the map part, it usually draws my route. I only drew about half the route because it took me a while to realise that my GPS wasn't working. So that was a bit of a bummer, but at least it recorded the distance and my times, which is the most important part. As for my stats on that run, like I said, I'd run just over 6 kilometers. I did it in 50 minutes and 19, which is, I think that's roughly where I do a 6k in. I'd like it to be faster, obviously, and I think I have run some faster than that, but I tend to be around the 50-minute mark on 6Ks. My average pace on that was 8 minutes 22, which, like I said, that seems to be what my average pace seems to be settling at. I'd like to get it faster, obviously, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. As for my split, my first kilometre was 7 minutes and 11, which is exactly what it was on Monday, which is rare. My second kilometre I did in 8 minutes 22, which I can't remember like comparing, but that's not, I don't think that's too bad for a second kilometre. My third kilometre I did in 9 minutes and 18, which I think was faster than Monday, but I'm not entirely sure. My fourth kilometre I did in 7:42. I'm pretty sure that one was faster, but I don't think that's my fastest 4k. I'd have to look at my board again, which is falling off, so I can't see it right now. My fifth kilometre I did in 8 minutes 48, so not too bad, not great, but not too bad. My sixth kilometre was in 8:45 once again. Not too bad, slightly faster than the 5, which is interesting, and definitely faster than my one on Monday, by like a minute faster, so I don't know what that was. But yeah, my times seem a bit better, apart from that third kilometre, which, as I've mentioned before, with that route has the hill that I don't like going up. I am getting better on that hill. I am starting to be able to run a bit further up it. With each run I'm getting like a couple meters further up, so that's definitely progress I'm seeing. But yeah, I'm not too happy. I know I could have run further, but I just, after about 5 kilometers I was starting to have issues, and I just decided it was best to come home. And like I said, my head just kind of wasn't in it. I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video, but it's kind of, given, like I mentioned in the last clip, given the current circumstances with the world with this coronavirus, there's a lot of uncertainty, so I
kind of started thinking about that when I was running, and I think, yeah, it just messed with my head a little bit. It's still messing with my head, if I'm honest, because, like I said, there's uncertainty. I'm not so worried about so much the virus, but just my job. So yeah, but like, I'm not going to talk about that anymore in this video, and I'm going to try and keep off it. But yeah, I'm going for another run in the morning. I don't know how far I'm going to run to get to my target. Like I said ages ago, I wanted to do 200 kilometers before I hit 50 runs. So I now have to do like 9 kilometers for the next 2 runs to hit that, which is doable. I'm just going to have to make sure I push through tomorrow. But yeah, like I said in the last clip, I don't know how many of these videos I'm going to be able to do, because obviously once restrictions are starting to get stricter and stricter, so I don't know how long it's going to be that I can still go out to run. I'm going to keep going as much as I can, like I said, and obviously if I can get out running, I will film and I'll continue doing these diaries. But it probably will get to a point where these are going to fade for a little while, because I just can't get out running, which will suck because it does help. But yeah, I'm going to leave this clip here now, and I will pick up with you guys tomorrow on my next run. So guys, it's now Saturday and I'm out again on another run. And this one was actually one I planned to go out on, because like I said yesterday, I wasn't meant to be off work. I think I said that maybe I didn't, but yeah, I wasn't meant to be working yesterday, so I wasn't meant to run. But due to the current circumstances, I was just doing binge work, so I'd get extra run in. So today is a scheduled run, and it's much needed run today because there's a lot going on. So yeah, so hopefully that run will help today. But yeah, I'm gonna have to run a bit further than I did yesterday, and I'm gonna make sure I do, even if I've just got to walk at the end of it. But I'm also gonna change the route up slightly. There's, on the big like 5k like loop I do, there is a chance where I can, instead of turning, if I go straight, then turn a little later on, I think it adds a little more distance to my run, so I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to try and do 10k today. I'm not promising I will. My goal is 10k, but as long as I do the 5k, I'll be happy. Or let's say as long as I do the 6k, I'll be happy. But yeah, I don't even I don't even know if you guys can hear me right now because it's actually really windy. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make this my last video for the run diaries, because like I said, I'm not in the best place mentally at the moment, and yeah, talking's not very easy, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to finish this warm up now, go stretch out ahead of my run, and I will talk to you guys a little later on. So I'm back from my run now and showered. Before I say any more, you might hear like a whistling noise. That is coming from my window. There's like a little hole by the side of my window and the wind's catching it. So there's nothing I can do about that, so just bear with me if you hear it. Yeah, that run kind of wasn't my best run, if I'm honest. And one of the reasons for that is I had a lot of technical difficulties on that run. One being, this one is true for a couple of my runs actually. Some of my running leggings are slightly too big, so they fall down slightly when I run. I don't know, it's usually just for the first kilometre. After that they kind of settle, but yeah, that kind of happened today, so it meant for the first like kilometre of my run I'm constantly having to pull my leggings up, which isn't fun. My Nike running app, the GPS was off on it as well, so it was, when it was calling out my splits, it was calling them really early. Like, I run the same route, so I know where 1 kilometre is on my run, and it was definitely calling it early. So I know definitely when I get to do my splits, 1 kilometre and 2 kilometre, those were definitely called early.
I'm not 100% sure on the rest because I did change up my route slightly today, and so I don't quite know if like my 3k and onwards is actually accurate. I know it was calling early because, like I say, I record on my Fitbit as well, and when I looked at my Fitbit I could see that I was actually about 40 meters further back on my Fitbit than according to my other app. So I think my GPS just messed up a little bit in the app. I also had technical difficulties with my Fitbit because I think around 4 kilometers I think I accidentally paused it, and it took me a little while to realise I'd done that and started up again, so I've lost about 400 meters off the run according to my Fitbit, even though I did actually run them. But yeah, it was also between 3k and 4k was also a little difficult. I'll get into that in a bit, just because, like I said, as you can hear, there's quite a strong wind, so trying to run into that, especially if you've got to run up a hill into that, is kind of difficult. And it was also kind of, I wasn't 100% sure where I was going. I haven't been that route in a very long time. I haven't walked that little bit, so I wasn't 100% sure where I was going. Like, I knew where I was going roughly, but I wasn't 100% sure. So, and whenever I try out like a route I've never done before, it does kind of make a little, kind of makes me a little bit more weary. So I kind of slow down a little bit to make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah, like I said before I went out for a run, I am kind of struggling a little bit mentally just with the current situation. Just not so much, I'm not worried about the virus itself or having to isolate, although it will drive me crazy. It's more just to do my job. I'm not going to talk about that anymore in this video, but yeah, it just, when you're going out for a run and your head's already in a different and weird headspace, it doesn't help, or at least for me it doesn't help. So I know I just didn't feel that motivated to run today. I did run, obviously, but it was definitely in the back of my head the whole way around. As for my stats for today's run, I did, well, like I said, before I get to them, I'm going to read them as they show on my Nike app, but like I said, the first 2 kilometers, the timings probably are wrong on them because I think my GPS was just out slightly. Well, I say slightly, I think it was out by about 40 meters, but I am going to read them, the stats, as they sit on the app. So yeah, I run slightly over 7 kilometers. I was hoping to do 10, but around 4 kilometers, my right calf just started to get really tight. I started to pull a bit, so like I had no choice. I had to finish the run because there was no way for me to come back otherwise, so I had to finish the run. But I think going any further would have been a bit of a struggle. I did, like, I think 7k ended on a corner for me, so I was tempted to carry on going, but I realised, like I said, I wasn't that motivated today, even though I'd done 7k at that point, and having my calves already pulling, I thought it was just a good idea to stop. I did it in 59 minutes and 41, which I think is pretty slow for 7k. I know I've definitely done 7 kilometers faster than that. Obviously you guys wouldn't have seen that because I've normally pushed to 8, but I know I've definitely had my 7 called way before that. My average pace was 8:27, so it's pretty much my usual, so not too much of a change in my pace. As for the splits, like I said, bear in mind these are probably not all that accurate because of my GPS being off. But yeah, apparently I did my first kilometer in 5 minutes 53. I don't think that's quite true. I reckon there's probably about 40 seconds onto that, but like I said, I'm going to go on what the app says. My second kilometer I did in 8 minutes 28. Once again, that called early, so I don't quite know. Well, that one might actually be a more accurate representation because yeah, if my run's calling, it was calling for 40 minutes thing, then that's probably accurate. So I think it's just my first kilometer that's off. I think the rest of them might actually be okay. So yeah, that was 8:28. So that's a couple of seconds slower than it was yesterday, but it's not too bad. I think I did struggle a bit more getting up. There's this hill I have to get up on that run. It's not the bad one on the next kilometer, but it is kind of, I was shuffling up there a bit more than I was yesterday. My third kilometer then I did in 9 minutes and 13, which is faster than yesterday.
yeah, I don't think there's really any reason for that. I think it's just chance that it was faster, because I know like I keep saying, I will try not to, but it is that particular stretch of road that is pretty much all uphill. Well, I'd say it's probably about 75% uphill, and I probably run the same distance as I did yesterday up it before I had to stop, but it was definitely a lot more difficult today. My 4th kilometre then I did in 8:31. That's definitely slower than my 4th yesterday. Main reason for that is because I changed routes. Just before I hit 3k, there's a turning. I take off the road, I turn left and it takes me another road. But today I carried on and took the next turn instead, and they eventually meet up again later on, but it adds like an extra kilometre to my route. So because I haven't walked that way in quite a couple of years, and last time I walked in the opposite direction, I wasn't 100% familiar with it. I knew roughly where I was going, but it kind of does, I find it does slow me down if I haven't run a route before. So my 5th kilometre was 8 minutes 50. That one wasn't too bad because by then I'd connected back up to the other route, so I knew where I was. And like I said, because the rest of my timings are now different, because I'm now a kilometre like ahead compared to yesterday, it means that probably my timings are going to be different. My 6th kilometre was dead on 9. The reason for that is, I don't really talk about it, but when I'm coming to the end of 5k, my 5k actually ends halfway up a hill, and normally I will push to run up that hill, but today I walked the entire hill because, like I said, my calves were starting to pull. And then I was about 5 seconds slower then on my 7th kilometre. I did in 9 minutes and 5. So yeah, I'm not too happy with that. I would like to get those last 2 kilometres down. Yeah, I'd like to get those last 2 kilometres down, definitely. I'm not too bothered about the 3rd kilometre being about 9:13. Obviously if I can get it under 9 minutes I'd be happier, but that's just going to come with me having to run up the hill a bit more and pushing to get up it. But I would like at least all the others to be under 9 minutes, so that's something to work on my next run. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if this is going to be the last run video now. If there's another one, there's another one, but I'm not going to make any promises. Like I said, it just depends on if I am able to get out to run. You know, if the country goes into lockdown, I'm probably not going to be able to go out running, and I don't really want to do these diaries if it's involving me running on a treadmill, because if I'm running on a treadmill, I'm not going to go that far because I don't like running on treadmills. Like I said, I just find them boring, and the treadmill I have is kind of like, it's quite short, so my feet keep like coming off of the back, or it's catching the edge at the back, so it's not, I don't think it's an accurate representation of running it. Plus you're running on the same like gradient the entire time, which I don't particularly enjoy. So yeah, if there is another video, there is, but like I said, we'll just play week by week and just see what happens. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this video here now. This is my last run of the week, and I will hopefully see you guys soon.